Hi. Um, this time we're going to build a interesting little program that'll be useful at an FLL tournament. Usually when you're at an FLL tournament and you want to run your different missions, you have to select the program, scroll through the list of programs, select the one you want to run it. When it comes back, you have to scroll through, find your next one, and then the next time scroll through, find your next one. And that's not very efficient. What if we could build a program that had all of our missions inside of it, and they would automatically sequence in the right order, and if we had to go back, we could select it to go back, or we had to skip one, we could select to go forward. That would be a lot faster. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that each of your missions is made into a my block. And that's not very hard. And for the purpose of this discussion, a mission means any time that we're in base and we push a program button to run, that's a mission. So I'm assuming that each of your missions are already in my blocks. And for this example, I've made 5 simple missions because 4 or 5 missions is typically what the teams I've coached in the past have run. And you can make it more or less easily using the same procedures I'm going to show you here. So the first thing we have to do is create a variable. This variable is, I'm going to call, made here, called program. If I hadn't already named it, we just name it here, but I already named it program. And program is just a number that represents which mission we're going to run. So it starts at 1, goes to 2, 3, 4, and 5. So inside this my block, or this little sequence I'm making, we're going to do some math. And basically we're going to add, oops, is this a read? Read, make it a read numeric. We're going to add whatever the mission program value is to some number that comes in from the outside in this my block, which we'll do when we make it into a my block. And so we're going to add either probably 1 or -1, depending whether counting up or counting down. And then we're going to write that into the program. So this time we're going to do a program write numeric, and we're going to put the output of this block into there. So now we have a new value called program. So what if the program number is greater than 5? We don't want to make it 6. We don't have a program 6. We probably want to make it 1. And what if the program number is less than 1? For instance, 0. We don't want to make it program number 0 because there is none, so we want to make it 5. So let's make some logic that'll do that. So the first thing we need to do is get a logic block. So where's my logic block? Oops, let me put it here. And we'll probably do another program read. Copy, paste, put that right there. This will be read program. We'll go into here. So if I guess I got to set my logic first. Well, that's not what I want. I don't want a logic block. I want a compare block. That's my bad. That's what the logic is looking for. Wasn't there? I want to compare if greater than. If A, which is our program, is greater than 5, then we want to do a if statement. And I tend to prefer the compressed form of this. So we'll say true. If it's true, let's put that in here. We'll make this logic. True. So if this is true, we want to write a program value. If it's greater than 5, we wanted to make it this a write numeric greater than 5. We want to make it 1. And now we'll kind of replicate this logic. Copy this. Because we'll do the same thing for when it's less than 0, and it's going to be essentially the same logic with a slightly different less than instead of greater than. So we're going to paste that. Put it here. We're going to use the same program value into the A. We'll make this less than 1. I guess I didn't copy everything I wanted to. Scroll over a little bit. We also got to copy this. C. Again, if this is true, now we don't want to set it to 1. We want to set it to 5. And in either case, if it's not true, we do nothing. So if it's not true, we do nothing. So now we've added a value to our program number, and we've taken care of the rollover cases. And the other thing I want to do in this my block is display the program name, because it's nice to know what, even though there's numbers there, it'd be nice to display the program name. So for this one, I'm just going to give name on program 1 through 5. That's easiest. And then again, we're going to use a switch. This will also show how to use a switch instead of just an if. And we're going to base it on, it's going to be a numeric. And it's going to base it on program. That was wrong. I just wanted the program. Put that in here. And we want to read numeric value. We're going to feed that into the numeric select. And we're going to create a new variable called add variable. Variable name is call it file. Oh, let's just call it name. Okay. And it's going to be not numeric, be text. Oh, I messed up here. Let's see if we can do name again, if it lets us overwrite it. Okay. So we'll have to, I'll show you how to fix this as a handy thing to know. Let's cancel this. We're going to go to our project properties, programs, variables, name. We can't edit it here, so we have to delete it. Go back to our programs. And we're just here. And now we have a variable, add variable, it's text variable, call it name. Okay. Here we're going to do a couple things. First I'm going to collapse this again. I'm going to make that's good. That's a 1. For the name for 1, I'm going to call program space 1. And now this next tab is going to be tab number 2. So when the program is 2, it'll put this in, and we'll copy this variable. Name. So when it's 1, it's program, go to the end, program 1. When it's 2, right now it's still going to be program 1, so we're going to go to the end, backspace 2. Now it's program 2. And we're going to add another one, tab, to tab number 3. Should be able to paste in our name. We don't want that much. And we're going to, for 3, we're going to have what? Program 3. So on. 4. And we're going to continue this process. There's 4. Did we name this one yet? No, program 4. And one more. Add 5. Name variable. This time we want program 5 is our name. So what are we going to do with this? Well, we're going to display it. So we're going to go over to, there we go, to our display block. What do we want to display? We want to display text. We want to display text on a grid. And where do we want? We want to get it from our wire. And we're going to put the variable here. The name variable is our text input. Let's scroll over a little bit so we can see what we're doing. So this, make this into a text read. Notice that the numeric, the logical, and the text all have different color wires connecting them. And yes, we want to erase the screen. We want to start at the edge at 0, and we want to make this about 63, which is about halfway down the screen. This is fine, and we want to make sure we have, 2, which is the large text. So this is pretty much our selector. So let's make a, can I do a edit, select all? No. So I have to select things a little bit at a time. That didn't work. Oh, I have to remember how to select everything. Oh, I remember. It's easier than I thought. Okay, so I have to zoom back till we can see everything. And select it. Now we've selected it all. I'm going to zoom back in. And I'm going to go to the tools and make a My Block. Okay, that red brain's a good icon for it. I'm going to call it a selector. And I'm going to have one input, which I'm going to call value, which is just the value that we're going to add to our previous program number. It's a number. Its default value is 1, which means that's where we're going to start. And the parameter icon for that, what do we want to do? Anything will do. Let's just make it X. That seems reasonable. And what we want to do is add X to the program number. And that's our selector program. So next we'll build a entire master program that selects all the program we want, but this will be the My Block it'll be based around.